You ever wonder if you were out of line for telling your mom something that just didn't sit right? Like, maybe it wasn't the time, but dang, it needed to be said. So here's what happened. There's this new Target ad going around. In it, a little girl's dressed up as a hot dog, and my whole family saw it while we were watching some scary movie together. I'm 20 now, back home from college for the weekend, and I brought my boyfriend along with me. That's when my mom, she's 57, thought it'd be hilarious to bring up the time she dressed me as a hot dog for Halloween when I was a kid. But the way she told it? She made it sound like it was all my idea. She laughed and said that back then all the little girls wanted to be Disney princesses, but I was the one who asked to be a hot dog. So she, being the quirky mom she was, made me the costume herself. But that's not how it went down, not even close, and I told her straight up that wasn't the truth. What really happened was this: I was dead set on being Snow White. Told everyone, my teachers, my friends, even strangers, that I was gonna be Snow White that year. I was obsessed with that movie. Like, to the point I'd actually do chores around the house just because I thought I was acting like her, cleaning and humming like in the film. My dad and I watched that movie constantly. I was thrilled about the idea of dressing up as her for Halloween, especially since my ballet studio had planned a princess-themed routine for the holiday. We even had to sign up for which princess we wanted to be. My dad took me in early the week before to make sure I snagged Snow White. But then, out of nowhere, my mom decided she didn't like the idea. Said Snow White was a lousy role model. I guess it was because I tried to make dinner one night, hot dogs, of all things, just like Snow White made food for the dwarves. I was about 8 and made a mess. So on Halloween day, instead of the costume I'd been dreaming about, she pulled out this cheap-looking hot dog suit and told me if I didn't wear it, I'd never be allowed to watch Snow White again. She took 1,000 pictures that day. And the other girls? They made fun of me for months. I don't think I've ever felt more humiliated in my life. So I told the real story in front of everyone. Even added that I got through the day by pretending she was the evil queen who made me dress in rags, except the rags were just a costume that made me look like processed meat. She went silent after that. Later on, my brother told me she was crying and looking at those old Halloween photos. Look, I wasn't trying to make my mom cry. But man, that memory still stings. And when she brought it up in front of my boyfriend like it was some cute, quirky tale, it felt like she was trying to embarrass me all over again. You know, one day when I have daughters of my own, I'm gonna raise them to actually enjoy being girls, to love themselves, to feel comfortable liking princesses, sparkly stuff, and anything that feels made for them. There's no way I'm putting my kids through the kind of backwards nonsense I went through. 6 months later, hey everyone. Just wanted to drop back in and give a proper thank you to all the kind folks who reached out last October. Back then, I was honestly torn up about whether I'd done the right thing. But hearing from so many people who understood and supported me really helped settle my heart. Funny enough, after that whole mess, things didn't exactly blow up like I thought they might. In fact, life just kind of kept moving, and for a while, I didn't even think about it. Mom was a little stiff with me the next few times we met up, kind of distant, but by Christmas, things felt mostly back to normal. It didn't ruin our relationship like I was scared it might. Looking back, I think most of the dread I felt was just anxiety building stuff up in my head. My brother threw in a couple of snarky comments, nothing major. And we never had a real sit-down apology or anything, so I just let it go. But then last weekend, something unexpected happened. My mom swung by after work to give me a ride. She said she had a little surprise for me and told me to freshen up, maybe do my hair nice. When we got to her place, she had laid out all these fancy skin and hair products, stuff she's never really cared about before, and told me to take my time. And when I came out, she had the most beautiful Snow White dress waiting for me. I mean, it was stunning. Like straight out of a fairy tale. I couldn't believe it was actually for me. She was dressed up too, as the evil queen, full-on costume and everything. Then she took me out to see the new Snow White movie. And I'm telling you, I just about cried. No exaggeration. It was honestly one of the most meaningful, magical days I've ever had with her. During the movie, little girls kept coming up and asking to take pictures with me. And for the first time in forever, I felt like I was actually living a moment I dreamed of as a kid. Felt incredible. The whole experience was so heartwarming. I'm even considering looking into work as a party princess. That's how much it lifted me. After the film, which, by the way, wasn't nearly as bad as folks were saying, I had a few nitpicks. The new love interest didn't do it for me. But Emily's performance? She nailed it. Then, after we got home, my mom sat me down and gave me a real apology. She admitted she hadn't considered my feelings back then. Said she always wanted me to feel like I could be anyone, not just some cookie-cutter version of a girl. but that, in trying so hard to push me away from conformity, she accidentally ended up forcing her version of different onto me. She said if I wanted to be a princess now or any time, she was going to do whatever she could to help me feel like the best one in the world. She explained that the hot dog costume was never meant to be punishment. She honestly thought it would make me laugh and didn't realize how far she'd gone without checking in to see if I was okay with it. And she swore she never actually planned to take Snow White away from me. And you know what? I believe her. She seemed truly sorry. Like, not just surface-level regret, but real understanding. I told her she was completely forgiven, no hesitation. So yeah, things are good now. Really good. I'm so glad I stood up for myself when I did. And I genuinely feel like my mom and I are going to be even closer moving forward. She's not perfect, but she's got a good heart. And I'm honestly thankful to have her as my mom. Thanks for listening. Top comment. Wow. Major props to your mom. Seriously, that took some reflection and love to pull off. She clearly cares deeply about you. My reply, yeah, she really does. She's not without her flaws, but she honestly tries her best, and I love her for that. Another commenter chimed in, it's a little upsetting that OP hasn't done more self-reflection here. Swinging in the opposite direction with your own kids can cause just as much harm. Supporting your children means helping them become who they are, not who you wish you'd been. Mother-daughter trauma runs deep, and sometimes moms, without realizing it, end up trying to rewrite their own childhoods through their daughters. But in doing that, they might create a whole new kind of pain. One commenter shared their story. My mom always thought she was too heavy as a teen, said her mom should have put her on a diet. So when I turned 17 running cross-country and juggling a brutal school schedule, she stuck me on a 200-calorie-a-day diet. I was starving all the time, and it made me feel worthless. Like gaining weight would somehow make me less of a person. All because she was still hurting and didn't see she was passing it on to me. Even now, I've forgiven her. But the damage? Still there. OP, just something to think about before having your own kids.